I'm addressing you this evening about as part of a concluding tribute, if you will, to a recent visit that we've had through our sister city partnership. And it is a delegation that came to our town of Shenandoah, Iowa, from the community of Tisovec, Slovakia. It has been a very wonderful visit that they have had, probably the most productive visit and productivity as far as our relationship with Tisovec itself. These are just a few thoughts that I would like to relay as a encompassing finish off for the series of a few videos that I have put together over their visit here in 2013. There is much to learn between peoples of two different nations. And it is ever more apparent to me that in order to help solve many of the world problems that we have, we need to start breaking down the barriers of non-communication and start initiating communication in all its forms, including the internet. It is, and we need to start doing this on a one-to-one basis. We can't just say, okay, world, we're ready to learn about you. We need to take a vested interest in an individual country and take it down to the personal level, to get to know who they are, to gain a testament and understanding that they are every bit as much a person as you and are afforded the possibility of such a rich life as you as well. In other words, to come to an understanding that you are essentially one with that person. And I think that's where we find a disconnect and a loss in the world, is we may find ourselves in a position of superiority or inferiority, either way. And all of that is nothing but a veil or a shade over the truth. And the truth is that we as a human species are one people. And it is our, not only a right, but it is our duty to reach out and understand each other. There is so much to learn. We have an ongoing project that is budding. It is a website project that we have established between our two school systems. And it is ready to launch. And we hope and pray that we as parents, community leaders for both Shenandoah and Tisovec, that we may be able to encourage, advocate the students to take part and participate in this project and to just see what they can learn. There are other forms out there of this type of project going on, but it is, when you get down to a community level, it is an unprecedented thing because it is us, you know. It is new territory traveled. We had a wonderful visit. The language barrier was not as much a barrier as I anticipated, which is a huge plus. We learned a lot about their country, and they learned a lot about ours. And we both come away with the feeling that there is much to learn, much to work on, and much as far as common projects and goals that we can work on. And not just on the school levels, although that is our jumping off point. It is our beginning. it is a focus around our youth. But it can also extend into other areas. Economy, the economic vitality of each um, community, and how you can initiate innovative and creative ways to mutually benefit the economy of each community. So, uh, for instance, one idea that we might be jumping into is possibly tourism, and a lot of communities around the world depend on tourism, um, because one thing that they have as a resource is a rich heritage, or something to offer that somebody out there has never seen. And so, that's one idea where I anticipate us to endeavor, and I'm very excited about that. Um, I think it's something that can benefit each of us, and not just for economical gain, but instead the rich knowledge that can come from it. I visited Tisovec, Slovakia in 2012 in June, and I was absolutely enriched and enlarged. Um, I was magnified and edified by the entire culture, the entire people, and such a rich heritage to learn from. And it helped me identify, some of the things that we as Americans have lost, if you will, and at the same time, I was able to see from their side, some things that they may be able to learn from me and our delegation that was there. And so that is a critical point in whether it be a sister city partnership or any type of international organization, is the ability to drop down your pride, to drop that wall of ego, to humble yourself, and to be teachable. And that is so, that's the whole thing around everything, is to be teachable. Things can't always be about money. Things can't always be about power. The things that matter are things that make you look towards the future. They are goal setting. They are things that are intangible, at least at this moment. They are things that you can gain in knowledge, that you can use in your own communities to help build up not only the adults in that community, but also the youth. And that's interesting because, we have a lot of hope for this interactive website project between Tisovec and Slovakia. We have a lot of hope in that because, you look at the world today, whether it be the U.S. government shutdown or the United States foreign policy, the civil unrest around the world, you have to stop and wonder, how much of these things can be prevented or at least brought to a manageable level so that diplomacy can reign. How much of that can be averted if we just knew more about the other person? I don't give a horse's patoot about the media and what they tell us about the other people. But what do you know about the other person? Okay? Just like judgment. We can judge all we want about another people's reaction, whether it be towards Americans or to their neighboring countries. But until you get down to the nitty-gritty and understand from a first-hand perspective what their perspective is on the world, we don't have a right to judge. And so, I was thoroughly enriched by my visit in 2012, and I've learned a lot. And I know it to be a good thing. I know it to be a divine gift because it gives me not only hope, but it gives me an initiative, a drive to further this project and to also help, although my limited brain capacity, to hopefully help to initiate new ideas and help to carry them out for the benefit of our two peoples and for the benefit of the rising generation. So I completely advocate the Sister City program. I wholly advocate each and every individual in the whole entire world to reach out and to learn to love their neighbor through learning about them, to learn their culture, to fully take it in and understand it. I've just been very blessed through this opportunity to be associated with this project, and it's one of those personal journeys that we all go through at times in our life, where we try and find certain purposes, or we try and find out, okay, why do I feel strongly about this subject or that subject? What is supposed to be my part in this project or that project? God, and it's the same exact thing, when a young man may be thoroughly entranced with mathematics. Maybe he's supposed to be a math teacher. Science. Maybe if he a young lady is totally enveloped in serving other people, maybe she's supposed to be serving a mission, But, for me, and to round this whole dialogue off, for me, this Sister City project has become a personal journey towards magnifying myself and to constantly redefine my own purpose in this world. And I do it not for my betterment, but I do it so that I can be edified and magnified, so that I can transfer and hopefully encourage the rising generation to stand up, to stand forth, and to take the reins, take the lead, and to make this world a lot better than the way they found it when they were born. Those are my thoughts for today as I round off, my closing remarks about this recent Sister City visit from a wonderful delegation of 8 individuals, educators, businessmen, and parliament leaders from the city of Tisovec, Slovakia. And we, as a town of Shenandoah, Iowa, have been greatly enriched and greatly blessed by their visit. And so, those are some ideas that I've had, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the hand of God in all of this. This visit went smooth. It went everything was right in order, and we all learned and was edified, and we left on wonderful terms with wonderful feelings and a bright hope for the future.